Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Robin Nance. Tonight, a Spokane City councilman says the truth about the way Otto Zehm died was concealed by a cover-up, both inside the police department and City Hall. Bob Apple's allegations came after a news conference in which the mayor and other council members addressed the case and pledged an independent investigation into the way it was handled. KXLY4's Jeff Humphrey shows us why Zehm's death has now become a political liability for the mayor and a handicap for officers still trying to protect us from crime.
Today here at City Hall, Spokane's mayor asked us to be patient and let a jury decide if Otto Zehm's civil rights have been violated by police. But at the same time, she's hoping that voters won't blame her for the way this case has been handled up to this point, including years of legal delays.
We too are frustrated by the time that has expired since this incident occurred in March of 2006.
Mary Werner says the friends and family of Otto Zehm have waited too long for answers about what happened inside this zip trip. While the facts should play out next month during Carl Thompson's criminal trial, the details will be fresh in the minds of people voting for mayor. And even though Werner could distance herself from this use of deadly force, she won't comment on whether or not she thinks it was justified.
With the criminal case on the eve of trial, it is inappropriate for me or the council members to get into legal details or strategies, so we're not going to take questions.
Werner wants to ensure Officer Thompson's right to a fair trial, but her silence also leaves her vulnerable to attacks from her rival in the upcoming mayor's race.
It gets back to that leadership issue. Who's taking leadership at City Hall? Who's taking accountability for these actions over the last several years? And
today it became apparent the Zehm controversy has now divided City Hall.
Councilmember Apple is present, although yes, Councilmember Apple also is present.
Councilmember Bob Apple wasn't invited to this morning's news conference, but showed up anyway and accused the police department and city attorney's office of covering up the truth about the Zehm case.
I believe the city has an attitude of sweeping mistakes, rather tragic ones in some cases, under the carpet and using liability as justification. And I think that needs to end.
What happened inside this zip trip was terribly unfortunate, and soon a jury will decide whether or not there was criminal intent. But in the meantime, even critics of this case agree not being able to trust your police department, not being able to tell them what's going on in your community, only makes it easier for criminals to victimize this city. Reporting in Spokane, Jeff Humphrey, KXLY4.